Hello everybody and welcome to this new Touchdesigner tutorial, and in this one I'm going to show you how to recreate this visual effect inside Touchdesigner using mainly Pops and the Geotext operator. The file will be available on my Patreon and with few custom parameters we can play with, but we are anyway going to build it step by step. So you can see in those different parameters the noise period is like to recreate something the bigger it is, the more grouped the data is going to be. Noise transform is like how agitated the data is going to be. Noise amplitude is going to be how much amplitude and how much apart the data is going to be. And motion speed is going to tell like how fast the tunnel is going to be. So these are like just few parameters we are going to highlight in this tutorial, but of course there is plenty more we can. So let's jump into this network just to have a quick overview on how it's built. So here we have point generation. Right now I'm generating 5,000 points, but for my Patreons you will see like I put something lower in case you don't have like a high-end GPU, so it's you get more efficiency. As well, we have the quantize effect that is off at the moment, but we can activate it to have something more square, more architectural style. And here we can play on the value step, so we can have like some play on it. As well, interesting to play with is the limit. So it's defined like how wide in the lower part and in the upper part is the tunnel. So you can do it in the X, Y, and the axis. And as well here, the way we treat the data is right now I'm taking the data you see is the coordinates in Y of the points we are showing, but we could actually as well like implement like any data text we can find. So in this I download the file from this website and I load it here. And so if we switch from here to here, you can see we can, oops, sorry, not from here to here, but from here to here. You can see we now display the data from this row, but we could of course like display from any of those row. Let's say we say 2, and so now we are showing the name. So yeah, and then we can as well play on the luminosity or like how we want the numbers to be, sorry, not the numbers, the data to be shown. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I recommend you, even if you take the file from the Patreon, to follow up on the tutorial so you can know how it works in a better way. Yeah. So I just started a new Touchdesigner session, and the first thing I'm going to erase the default network. And then what we want is first to create the tunnel in itself. So for that, I'm going to use the pop. I'm going to use the point generator one. And here I'm going to choose the tube. And I want it to be oriented in the axis. So in orientation, I'm going to choose XY plane. And here, the number of points right now, I think it's a bit too much. So I'm going to choose something like 3,000. And so now we start to have like a small tunnel. I want it to be like a bit like longer and a bit like thinner. So I'm going to put the 8 to 6, and the radius I'm going to go like something way down to something like 0.4. So this is going to be like really the base of all the system. And what I want is like one part will be points, one part will be data, and the third part will be like a kind of a plexus effect. So I'm going like to connect it to a null. And from this null, I'm going to choose here geometry and duplicate this geometry twice. Then I'm going to choose constant, drag and drop on the first one, and copy paste and drag and drop on the second one. And then let's build like the rendering system so we can have a bit a view on what we are doing. So for that, I'm going to put a camera a render top, connect it to an RGB key, and activate view outside. In the render, I'm going to change the resolution to something bigger, but choose the resolution you wish, and you adapt depending on it. And so let's say the first one will be our plexus, and the second one is going to be our cube display. So for the first one, in order to create a plexus in Pops, it's quite easy. We have something called proximity. And so we just insert operator here and put proximity. And here we are. We have a plexus right away. So in this plexus, I want to change a bit the parameters. So in maximum distance, I'm going to choose something way bigger, so we can really have connection in between more points. And minimum distance, I want it to be really close by points don't connect to each other. So I'm going to choose something like 1.6. And max line per point, I'm going to choose 1. And number hash buckets, I'm going to go for something like 1 as well. So here we are, we have kind of the proximity being set up, like the plexus effect. And now what I want is on each point, I want to have something a bit bigger, like just a point. Right now it's just a pixel. So for that, I'm going to create a box pop. And what we want is to instantiate this box at each point we have. So in order to do that, I put this box, and then I'm going to link it to a transform and to have something way smaller. So I'm going for 0.01. And this, I want to copy each of these box onto each of these points. So I add a copy and then just connect the first to the cube and the second one to what we want the box to be in on top of what. I hope I'm clear here. And so then I'm connecting to the geo, and here we are. So we already have something interesting. Here in the uniform, I'm going to go from something even smaller, maybe 0.05. And as well, now I want the camera to be a bit more in front, so I'm going to go to here to something like 3.5. And so already here we have kind of the system is already kind of working. Now let's do a few switch. So in the first constant here, I'm going to lower down the alpha to something like 0.35. And in common, I'm going to activate the blending transparency here. So we have something a bit more subtle around the line. Maybe we can go a bit bigger. If you want to have to play on more wireframe and you want to really control it, here you can choose to activate this, and so you can really control a bit more what you are displaying. I think just 1 pixel wide line is working well. But yeah, if you want to have something bigger, it could be done like that. So now that we have this first part made, let's see the next step. So the next step I want to do is to have the full system moving forward to the camera. So to have all these particles and plexus going towards us. So for this, I'm going to insert here a transform. And in the transform, you can see in the translate parameters, the third one, the z-axis. If I move it up, the system is moving towards us. So it's working pretty well. The thing is, after a while, we reach the limit and we are out of camera. So we will deal with that a bit later. Right now, I just want to implement this function to move forward. So we can use abstime.seconds, the expression, but it doesn't give us much control. So I'm going to instead to add a constant. And in this constant, channel 1, I'm going to rename it to motion speed and connect this constant to a speed chop and then to a null. And I'm going to call this null param. And so it's the null that we are going to concentrate all our parameters in this one. So all our parameters customizable parameters are in only one place. So we are going to use this motion speed from the param and drag and drop it to the transform page here. And here you can see if I change the motion speed here, we are moving towards the camera. So now the issue is like the signal is just moving on the axis, but we don't have like the looping effect that we want. So in order to create that, if you have followed up my other tutorial, you know, like I'm going to use a limit here. So limit. And in the limit, this time parameter size, I want 3. Because what I want to do on the z-axis is to have something that looped, but on the x and y-axis, in order to create this square, I want something that is clamped. So in here, I'm going to choose loop on the third parameters and choose -3 and 3. And so now you can see, like, if I put some speed, oops, I'm pause. Like you can see, like we have a continuous flow. Once it reaches the value of 3, it goes back to -3. And once we are in the limit top, in the first and second, we are going to choose clamp. And then we can play on the parameters. So here I'm going to choose 0.21, -0.21 and 0.21. And here something like -0.5 and 0.5. So now we have a system like that loops and that is limited, but I want to add a bit more like dynamic in it. So after the point gen, I'm adding a noise. I'm inserting a noise pop, and in the amplitude I'm going for 1 for now. And right away you can see like the effect is starting to take position because we are kind of transforming and exploding the tube. So we have something way more dynamic. And here we can play on a lot of different parameters. We can play so on the amplitude to have something way bigger. And then you can see our limit is like blocking the signal. So we have something that kind of being simplified if we go bigger. But we can as well play on the period to have something like more grouped. We can as well play on maybe transform here. If we have something moving, like really small value, we can have like the signal being evolving. So like let's right away like add up like all these parameters into this null, so we can play in it right away. So I'm going to add another constant. Connect it first. Name it maybe noise transform. Connect it to a speed. And then merge here, insert operator merge. And then in this noise, in the translate Z, we can export the noise transform from here. And here, let's choose for now like a really small value to have something moving like really, really small. So I'm going like for 0.01. And then let's add another constant. And in this one, let's create the first one. We are going to call it period. And let's add another channel, and we are going to call it amplitude. So period, I'm going to choose something like maybe 1 and amplitude 1 for now. And let's connect it to the merge. And in the noise, export the period to the period here, and the amplitude to the amplitude here. So right now, like you can see, like if we play with the amplitude here, we have like, we can already have something fun to play with. So yeah, this is the first part of our tunnel, and it's already working pretty well. And you can see like we can really play on each step individually, and we can create quite a lot of diversity in the visual. So to create this data visualization or like text visualization, we are going to use the geotext, and it's a really powerful specific geo you can find in here in geotext in the comp segment. And you can see like, so I've added one, and you can see like either the modality will be text. So you see it's just going to write basically the text. Either we can choose specification.chop. And this is what we are going to use, specification.chop. And like this, for this we need like to have, we are going to use the dot, and we need to have a dot which is like formatted in a specific way, and it will need like to run like for what we want. It will need to have like at least four columns. So I'm going to create a table dot, and I'm going to, into fill, I'm going to set the size manually, and so it will be 1 and 4, 1 rows, 4 columns, and I'm going to name those columns because Geotext is looking for those names: text, tx, ty, and tz. And so basically, like it will take like the value of the text row to be displayed in the coordinate of tx, ty, and tz. And so what I want to do actually, like for now, for our first test, is to display like the coordinates of each point in this geotext system. So right now I'm generating like 3000 points, so maybe it's a bit too much, and I don't want to generate as many data as there is point, because it can maybe overload the system. So after this null, I'm going to middle mouse button and add delete pop. And in this delete pop, in scene, I'm going to enable scene, and I'm going to choose scene out range. And here, with scene out range, I can decide how many points I want to have at the end. So right now you can see we have 3000 points. And here in scene range we have a length of 100, and so here we'll have like a length of 100 points. So maybe let's go like for something bigger, and I'm going to choose 1000. So now we have 1000 points being generated, and I want to retrieve the position of all these points in a dot format. So I'm going to first add a null. So now I want to convert this null into dot, so pop2. And here you can see we have like all the data. So we could like already like choose the attributes p here. So we only have like those points. We can as well like using like scene out range. So we can like already limit here as well. But I prefer to limit before. So it's like we don't have like the process of conversion from this to here to happen. So here we can actually leave it like as it was. Sorry, all. We don't really need like for now, because we are going to anyway like use a select after. And in this select rows, we choose by index. So here I have a mistake. I don't know why. Yeah, probably like a little bug. Let's go up and down. Yeah. And here I don't want my first. I want to cut the first line. And in rows by index. And here I want from 1 to 3. So here I'm going to choose from 1 to 3. And so now we have the coordinates of our point. And what we want to do is to have them like being under tx, ty, and tz. But I want as well like to have something to display on text, and what I want is to display actually the y coordinates of my point. So here from this one again, I'm going to go for select. Again by index. Here I'm choosing 1. I have this little bug going up and down, and here I just want the y coordinate, so it will be 2. So in here I'm choosing 2, and here I'm choosing 2. And so now we have this is going to be our text, and this is going to be our coordinates, and I want to merge all this like in one big one. So this is a bit confusing because we are using the name is going to be a coordinate, but yeah, like soon we are going to show how to actually use instead other kind of data like name or list, CSV list, things like that. So I'm going like just to connect both of them. And here, instead of append rows, I'm going to choose append columns. And yeah, and then we want to merge it with this table one. So again, I'm going to use merge and connect them. And here I want the table to be on top. So now we have text. So what we are going to display, tx, ty, and tz coordinates. I'm going to link it to a null. And this is the parameters we are going to use in order like to display our text. So here in specification dot, I'm going to drag and drop this null. And now you can see, wow, it's taking a lot of things, but like maybe too much text, maybe it's not doing what we want it to do. So first, I want to have like something we can see easier. So I'm going to drag and drop a constant here. So it's black and white, way easier to read. And in font size, I'm going to lower it down like by a lot, like something like 0.007. And yeah, you can see we start to have like something good, but it's clearly not going the right direction. So let's see why. I think it's because here we are not in the right order, right? Yes. Yeah, here we have like the first, which should be the name, is inverted. So let's just do that. And now you see like it's working right away. We already have like the system working by just a few clicks. So yeah, that's pretty much what we wanted. Now let's see if we would like to implement it with instead of having numbers, a text. So for that, I went on a website I found online, which is called, I'm going to show it to you here. So it's called databliss.com learn CSV, download sample CSV file. And so I download basically a file and yeah, just download it. And this file was like kind of a customer ID thing. And here, instead of, so I'm going to give some room here, we can replace this selection by anything we want here. So let's just add a select. I don't want to have the first row. So here, select rows by index, and I'm choosing one. And then here I can choose like anything I want. So like let's, for instance, choose the date or like the website 11. So here I'm choosing 11, and it's going to only select those websites. And if I replace this connection with this connection, we are going like to show the website it's about. So we already have like the system working quite well. Now what we might want to have actually is as well like to play on the font color, because right now all our square or our typo is always the same color. So for that, in the geotext, we can as well add two parameters called font color. So here I'm going to say columns, and I'm going to say 7. And here I'm going to call the next one font color R, and then font color G, and font color B. So now we have like 3 more rows. Now it's empty, but let's populate them with the color we want. And so like to play with color, I think like the easiest way is always to use a top. So I'm going to use a noise top. And maybe like the output, I want it to be 1000 by something like 1. So we have like each pixel is going to be the color of one of those text, and connect it to a null. So I choose 1000 because we have 1000 parameters here, 1000 how to say 1000 point. So I'm going like to just like convert it to a chop, top 2. And this chop here, what I want is a full picture, so crop, I want the full image. You can see we have 1000, and this I want to connect to a null and to convert it like to a dot. So now we have all those data being shown. Oh, I don't want A, so in image, get rid of alpha. So now, like I have all this, what I want is to merge it here, to do the same we did here, to open a column. So insert merge. And here I'm going to choose there. And yeah, it's not working. Oh, because open columns. And okay, now we have something weird. What is happening there? Oh, font color, I forgot like to press R. So yeah, it was there. Font color R, font color G, font color B. But yeah, now you can see like we can play our noise parameters, like if we want to have something a bit different, so like that, or we can have some colors if you want, some amplitude. And so here, like you can really create like more dynamic thing. And what if now you want actually to have a bit the same thing, but with our square. So to do that, we can here insert a lookup texture. And in the lookup texture, let's just drag and drop this top. And here we say like this top is going to control the color attributes. And here we are, like we are now controlling as well the dots with this color attribute. So I'm not a huge fan of colors, so I'm going to switch to monochrome and maybe like lower down a bit the amplitude and increase the offset to go back to something a bit more normal. Now, if I want, I can. I'm going as well here, like to switch to the coordinates here. So now we have something that works already very well. I wanted like to take a look as well at the quantization, quantize effect, to have something a bit more like steppy. So here we can insert a quantize, and in parameter size we are going to choose 3. And so basically quantize is like going to step a bit the signal depending on the rules. And what is really strong with Pops is like we can really deal the signal with different, like for X parameters in different ways. So I don't want to treat the signal on the Z-axis, but I want maybe like to treat the signal on the X-axis with ceiling rule and saying like 0.1 here. And so you can see like it's creating this kind of on the X-axis kind of stepping of the signal. We can add as well an offset, and here we can say a bit the same, like something maybe like round for the Y-axis, and we can as well like play on different value. Maybe go up here, so we can really have something more narrow, more something like that. So yeah, so for now I'm going to deactivate it, and yeah, that's pretty much it about the system. Then I always like to add a bloom effect here, so it creates a bit more like nice light. So yeah, that's pretty much it about the system. So we can play on the different parameters here if you want to play on them. We could as well like customize component here, and in order like to highlight them on a upper level. But yeah, I don't think like there's many tutorial on that. Or if you want to have it done, you can go on my Patreons to have it pre-made. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this tutorial and you learn a few things here. And I see you next time for a next tutorial.